This video is over topic 38, dual unit measurement. So this is your things like feet and inches, pounds and ounces, hours, minutes, seconds. So one way to think through this process, you might have some other way that works for you, that's fine, but one way to think through this is when you have a unit, a number with a unit, then it's the same as taking that number times one of that unit. So 3 feet is 3 times 1 foot. When you have the two parts with different units, they're being added together. So 3 feet 6 inches is 3 feet plus 6 inches. You cannot then add the 3 and the 6. You cannot add the numbers unless the units match. So if you want to convert 3 feet 6 inches to inches, you need to change the 3 feet into inches. So you replace the feet with the equivalent of 1 foot in inches. Since 1 foot is 12 inches, you replace the 1 foot with 12 inches. There's 3 of those, so 3 times 12 inches becomes 36 inches, and then you can add on the 6 inches. If you want to convert the 3 feet and 6 inches to just decimal feet, then you would go the other way and say 1 inch is 1/12 of a foot. And so you replace the inch unit with 12th of a foot. So it becomes 6/12 of a foot for the 6 inches, which is 1/2 or 0.5. The 5 is 5/10. So we're looking at converting from twelfths to tenths. So it's not going to be 0.6, it'll be 0.5. And then add that onto the 3 feet. So 1 foot is 12 inches, 1 pound is 16 ounces, an hour is 60 minutes, a minute is 60 seconds. So those will be used in the conversion. So if a baby is 6 pounds, 15 ounces, we want this in decimal form, then recognize that an ounce is 1/16 of a pound. And these are being multiplied, or you can say this is 15/16 of a pound, or 15 times 1/16. So calculate that. 15/16 is 0.9375. And just add that onto the 6 pounds. Then the height in inches of a man who's 5 feet 7 inches tall. That's 5 times 1 foot is 5 times 12 inches. And 5 times 12 is 60. So that's 60 inches and another 7 inches for a total of 67 inches. Now, going the other way from inches to feet and inches, there's various ways to do that. We have 79 inches. So one way in your calculator, you can go 79 divided by 12 and then look for, if it gives you decimal 6 point whatever. So you can either use your calculator to convert between, so you have your fraction decimal button, or I think it's usually this way, find that, but look also for something that does maybe something like this, converting between the improper fraction and the mixed fraction form, because if you can get it to be 6 and something over 12, that something is the inches. So depending on your calculator, if you have the Casio or TI scientific calculator, they can do that. Now, that works. In this case, it comes out where it doesn't simplify. if it came out 6 3/4, you'd have to figure out what's 3/4 of a foot. So you'd still have to do an extra calculation. But if it comes out 12ths, then you have the inches already. But with the decimal form, you can also go ahead and say, all right, so there's the 6 feet, then subtract that off and get just the decimal part, and then multiply that back by the 12. Or you can say the 6 feet is 6 times 12 is 72. And so 79 minus 72 leaves 7 inches. So I might go 79 divided by 12 minus 6 times 12 again. So there's the 6 feet. And I subtracted that off and then converted back to get the 7 inches. Or once I do the 79 divided by 12 and see that it's 6 feet, then I say, all right, so how many inches actually is the 6 feet? That's 72. Then how much is left of the 79 when I take off the 72? So various ways you might think through that process to get this. All right, and then one more, 3.72 minutes in minutes and seconds. The 3 part is the minutes. And then it's 0.72 minutes, or 0.72 times 1 minute, or 0.72 times 60 seconds. You don't have necessarily, you probably don't have to write out all of those pieces, but just to say, all right, why I'm going to multiply the 0.72 by 60. Why am I doing that? This is why. 0.72 times 60 is 43.2. This is 3 minutes and 43.2 seconds. Or it might be written something like 3 colon 43.2.